Hello and welcome again to Crafty Carol's Craft Desk, here from lovely, sunny, blue-skied Northern Ireland. It's so nice to have some nice weather, isn't it? Okay, so today I wanted to play with this new sweet that is actually available as an online exclusive. It's called Latte Love. And it has all of these beautiful stamps to do with coffee. So you've got the sort of coffee art stuff. You've got coffee rings, a mug, a cup, coffee beans, a splatter, a nice little bit of, I don't know, steam, I think, coming out, a coffee bean, another sort of cover which goes inside this to look like coffee, a spoon, various nice little sentiments as well. And it comes with dies. And the dies are actually more than the set itself, because the dies have a coffee percolator and a jug and a filter and cups, and obviously we cut out the mug and things. There's also this die here and this one which cut out these stamps, the coffee art and what have you, but the suite comes with a set of paper. And the paper is absolutely gorgeous. Double-sided, of course, as usual. I've already used quite a lot, so bear with me. So there's this lovely swirly paper, which has got these lovely cafe art type things on the back. Then you have this paper, and these are the same size as the stamp and die. So the die will actually cut out these coffee cups, which is brilliant, in all sorts of different colours. The back of that one is the coffee rings. Then we've got coffee beans with a lovely check pattern on the back. We've got very dark sort of swirly paper with 30 flamingo coffee beans on the back. You've seen those ones. Then we've got lovely mug ones, and these don't all fit the dies. I think that one does, but these don't. You'd have to fussy cut those, which is fine. They're nice mugs. And just a nice little coffee mug thing on the back. Coffee splatters, and that on the back has got this lovely Lost Lagoon stripes. Seen those ones, I think that is it, lovely. So those are the gorgeous papers, the Latte Love papers, which I've used a lot in this card. So the other things I'm going to use today, I'll give you all the measurements and things in a bit. I'm going to use my Pecan Pie stamping pad, and I'm also using the So Sincere set because this card itself is actually going to be a birthday card for my brother-in-law. So, who loves coffee, by the way, so that's why. So to start off, I've got all my bits mainly cut out. Ooh, let's try and get them all right. So your card base, you want an ordinary card base, which is 21 by 14.8, scored at 10.5, and also scored at 3 centimetres. Don't get it wrong like I did the first time. You can see my extra score line. I scored it at 5 for some unknown reason, but score it at half. And in inches, that is, I have these written out now, so I should get them right all the time. So that is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4.25 inches, and you want to score the extra score line here on the front panel at 1.25 inches. So that's your card base. You'll notice I've already stuck a piece of DSP to strengthen up my extra fold that I made. There's always a way around a problem. So you want another front piece, which is going to be 9 centimetres by 14.8 or 3.5 inches by 5.5. Then we want, that's my envelopes. I've got my envelope to decorate as well. Various pieces of DSP. So the DSP for the inside panel here is our usual layer 2, which is 10 centimetres by 14.3 or 4 inches by 5.25 inches. And you want a similar sized piece for the front panel. And this is 14.3 that way, or of course 5.25, but across it's actually 8.5 by, which is 3 and, oh, I've not written that one down, 3.25, 8.5 by 3.25. There we go. So I've also cut a little strip of those because I like it for the side, and I've got a thin strip of basic white because I'm going to stick a vertical happy birthday from the So Sincere on there. And then I've already die cut various other bits. Oh, 2 more bits of panels, 2 basic white panels, which are 11 centimetres by 6 centimetres or 4 1/4 inches by 2 3/8 inches. So let me stick that somewhere where I won't lose the measurements. So I've got 2 of those, one for the inside and one for the outside. I've also already die cut the coffee percolator, the coffee to go inside it, the cups, and there should be 2 of those, and I seem to have lost one, which serves me right. I should have stuck them on before, so I might have to go and cut another one of those if I can't find the second one. Where has that gone? No, not behind there. Oh, annoying. Right, I might have to go and cut a second one of those. I did have them up to a second ago. Never mind, it might turn up as we go through all these other bits. So let's get some stamping done. So I'm going to use this vertical happy birthday. Now, sadly, the So Sincere are cling stamps. They're not photopolymer, so I can't see through them. But I can look at my stamp and see that the actual imprint is slightly on this side of the stamp. So it's roughly where the words are. So it's on this side of the stamp. So when I stamp it, and I haven't cut this quite as thin as I eventually want it, just in case. So we're going to stamp that in Pecan Pie. So ink it up. Oh, that's very, very inky. But that's okay, because if I'm gentle with it, it'll be fine. So I know my word is slightly to the right, so I can stamp it slightly to the right and hopefully get it vertical, so I only have to cut it once. Yay! Happy with that. I'll just quickly clean that stamp of all that extra ink. So I'm going to trim this down. That is annoying, you lose. Let me stick that on before I actually lose another one. They cut out in pairs, so it's quite sad. Right. Oh, am I going to be able to do this with my fingers? I might need a... Oh, there it is, look. Excellent. So this is just coffee that sits in the coffee cup. I really could have done this prior to this video, because it would have helped a bit, wouldn't it? Because they're definitely fiddly. So that's the first one. I'm going to stick the second one on as well before I forget and lose it again. The problem being, of course, I now have glue all over my desk. That's okay. Just going to pick this up and turn it over. Glue on my fingers as well, but hey, never mind. So those are my coffee cups with my coffee in them, which I rather like. That I will stick on when I stick the front together, but at least I've saved those end bits. Really, what am I like? Okay, so let me go back to this. And I have stamped this. Let me just move that over there. Now I also have the stamp, while I've got the ink pad open. This is my sentiment for inside, which is hope your day is a happy one. So I'll just stamp that for the inside. On the inside piece, we'll have it there, I think, there. Okay. Now I'm also going to stamp, we've got this gorgeous splattery stamp of sort of coffee drops, which I quite like. So I'm not going to do those in Pecan Pie though, or shall I? I can do them in, I know, let's do them in stamped off Pecan Pie. Let me just grab knocking everything over. Let me just grab a sheet of paper. Don't lose that. And let's do some stamped off stuff. That might be a bit nice, because I've got coffee rings on the DSP below, so I don't want to put too many of these on, but we might have just a couple of, yeah, splatters. Why not? So we've got some coffee splatters. What a mess I've made of my card. I've dropped coffee all over it. I rather like those. Quite like splattery things. Okay, so I knew this card would be chaotic because there's so much to trim. So very carefully, I'm going to trim down the side of my happy birthday using the lines on my trimmer to make sure it's nice and straight. Hold it down. Perhaps need to take another little bit off that, but better to cut 2 or 3 little bits than get it wrong and cut into the words themselves. better. Then I can just trim it off here. So there is my happy birthday. Actually, I'll trim it a little bit at the top as well. Just do that by eye. Now we can start to put that bit of the card together, because this is going to sit in the middle of my strip that's going down the outside. So I think I will stick that on now. A bit more glue there. I'll have it slightly above the middle and covering some of those. There we go. So you can see how the colours match. I just love the fact that Stampin' Up! Colours coordinate so beautifully. So let us start to make this up, and then we can do the front. Leave the front panel for a minute. You've obviously realised, and I didn't really tell you at the start, but this is a fun fold card. Because I haven't done a fun fold for ages. So I'm going to put my coffee splatter one, using some of my coffee mugs, but there's so much on the papers. There's plenty more of those coffee cup tops for me to cut out if I need for another card. It doesn't matter which way round coffee splatters go. So we'll have it this way around. You obviously don't need to stick that bit in. I only stuck that in to strengthen my wrongly put in fold. It's really stupid. But you could put one there if you want, it's up to you. So that is my strip with my sentiment attached, and that is going down the outside of my card here so that it's visible in the fold there. And this is then going in. Now I need to make sure it sits slightly to the left here, because I don't want it to show behind the other panel, though it shouldn't do. Let's just check. Yeah, because that comes across more or less to happy birthday, which is fine. I might need to move that even slightly further across. Probably can't do it now, it's all right. So it doesn't actually matter. I can stick this in its centrally in the gap that I've left. Oh, do you know what? I think that one really has finished. Let's get another one. And it was upside down in my glue holder that I made last week, so it's obviously definitely ended that one now. I do find my glue holders really useful. So I can stick this in the middle. It won't actually matter because it won't see when we put the front on. So there's the inside of my card made. Oh, while I had the splatter out, I was going to do the envelope as well. Yes, I still have that stamp, so let me do that while I'm here. So we'll stamp the envelope with splatters too. It's quite nice. I might have a third splatter butter stamped off one. There we go. Coffee splatters all over the envelope as well. So you always want to decorate the envelope. Obviously you could as well stick some DSP on the back. I might do that later, but not now because I want to get on with this card. So for the front of the card, I've got my piece of DSP I'm going to stick on first. And then I have a background piece which I'm actually going to stick right in the middle, because this isn't going to be stamped, it's just going to be covered in bits of various things, as you can probably gather by now. So I'm going to stick this on as well, so that's going to go in the centre of that panel, roughly. There we go. Then I've got these various bits to stick on. I've got my coffee percolator, or my coffee whatever, which is going to go on there, and this goes just behind it. So I need to decide where it is, and then I can stick that bit down, then stick the other on the top. So I want that bit roughly there, because the percolator goes on top so that this looks like coffee inside it. There is a sort of jug thing that actually, a die that cuts out a piece that sort of goes behind here, but I didn't like it. Coffee percolators are see-through anyway, so I just actually left it like that. I did think about cutting a piece of clear plastic film, but I thought that was actually being too fiddly. So we'll see what this looks like without. Come on, glue, just give me some dots, thank you. Just little tiny dots. The beauty of our glue is that we can manage to just put little dots on things when we want. There. So carefully without getting glue all over me. Haha, that's a laugh, I will. Let's put this over the coffee in the jug. Make sure the percolator top is straight. There we go. And then I have my little cups, which I'm going to put one on flat and raise one on a dimensional. So let's put this one on flat. Little cups of coffee. So we'll have that one there. And the other one on with a dimensional. There. And then to finish the card, I've actually used early espresso ink and cut out the Celebrate from the Thoughtful Expressions dies I showed you how to use last week. So I'm going to have that sitting there, but I'm also going to put it up on a piece of ribbon. And I haven't decided whether to wrap the ribbon all the way around the card. I think I probably might, or I could have two pieces sort of crisscrossy together. Let's have two pieces. So I need some ribbon scissors. This is gorgeous. This is a part of the suite again. It's just called Natural Jute. I think it's a jute ribbon. It's really thick and rather nice. So if I cut two pieces about that long, I'm going to trim the ends in a minute, but I want to get two pieces roughly the same length. So I'm going to use one piece to measure, and I can cut the other one. There we go. So we'll have two of those, and I'm just going to cut the ends a little bit more angled. Cutting them angled just helps stop any fraying that might happen, and this jute type ribbon is often very prone to fraying. So I need to decide now, do I just have them straight next to one another and put that on the top? I think I probably will. I'll have them as two strips, I think. I've cut the angles at some completely different. Okay. Didn't cut them the same, so I'm going to just adjust that. Makes one slightly shorter, but I don't think that'll matter. I can always cut another piece. That will do. And I'm going to use some tear and tape to stick those down, I think. So we'll have two pieces of tear and tape across there. Take the top off and stick my first piece of ribbon across, and then the second. I quite like that look. And then my Celebrate can go across the top. Now I was thinking of putting it up on dimensionals. I'm not so sure. I think what I might do is actually use a bit of tear and tape. I think it's going to stick it better. Who knows? Let's see. So we'll put the tear and tape across the bottom of the words there, and just put a little bit of glue on the top of this, or around the C. Perhaps on the top of the T. And then, oh, I'm going to get covered in glue now because fiddly. Take that bit of tape off and stick that across there. Lovely. Got little bits of jute trim. It's got little fibres that seem to go everywhere, covered in them. Right, and to finish off, another part of this suite are these lovely adhesive backed swirl dots. So with all the swirls of coffee going on in all the patterns, these are actually rather nice. So we've got 3 different colours of them, so I might mix and match with a few, or I might just use, now let's just use these rather nice petal pink ones. So we'll have, oh no, perhaps we'll have a mixture. Should we have a mixture? Let's have a mixture. They're rather nice, aren't they? There. Oh, those are quite nice. I like those. Lovely. The adhesive swirl textured dots. Beautiful. So it just remains for us to stick this on the front. Now we want to make sure it's exactly down the line here, but then sticks to the front here. So my advice for this is we're going to use some tear and tape. I'll just really burnish that fold too. We'll use some tear and tape along here. You won't find the end of my tear and tape, which has now vanished. There. So we'll have a piece along that side. And a piece along this side here. We might have one in the middle for good luck, we'll see. Should hold it with the 2, to be honest. Okay. So I'm going to take these pieces off, and as with all tear and tape, if it's a little bit long, you can just fold the end in. So now to stick this down and make sure it's in the right place, I'm going to actually lay it against, hold it down with my finger, lay the edges of the card exactly against the fold. Make sure it's right, completely lined up, top and bottom. And then I can press the whole thing down, and there we have the card. So that is my fun fold. If I stick it that way, you can see the top. So this just holds it open, which is rather nice. But then you can see the happy birthday down the side. My lovely coffee swirly thing here. Might have, do you know, there's a So Swirly embossing folder. I'm just thinking, perhaps if I ever make this card again, I'm going to put a swirly pattern on that. I think that might look rather nice. Perhaps it'd be too much, who knows. Let me just move whatever that is. A little bit of jute, is it jute trim or what is it? Don't know. Just get rid of that there. They are little fibres of jute trim, I think. So that is my card for today with my envelope as well. I hope you like it. Just a really simple fun fold, but it's really rather nice. I hope you have a go at it. Thank you for joining me today. The full instructions and all the measurements, because I'm not sure I gave you them all during this video, but all of the measurements will be on my blog at craftycarolscards.co.uk. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel if you haven't already. I'm so nearly at my target of 1,000 members, so if you know anybody who'd like to join, please tell them. And I will see you again soon. Thank you for joining me today. Bye for now.